everybody, this is Hammer Striker here. We've been looking around for suppressor hosts for the suppressors that we're waiting on the stamps for, which hopefully we'll get that at any time now. And while we were looking around, we found the TAC Ops, the SIG P320 TAC Ops. We found a barrel for the P226, and we stumbled across this. This is the XDm 4.5 threaded barrel chambered in 45 ACP. And 45 ACP does make a good caliber of suppression because it's inherently, especially with the 230 grain, inherently subsonic, so it should suppress quite well. And being an XDM, we should have all the quality attributes we're used to. So let me pick this up, show you that it's unloaded, and talk to you about it a little bit. Oops. It is unloaded. If you're familiar with XDMs, this ought to look very familiar to you. If you're not familiar with XDMs, I'll go through the various features of it and capabilities so that you'll know a little bit more about them. To start with, it is a polymer striker-fired handgun. It is drop safe. It has all the inherent safeties that you're used to in Glocks and many of the other striker-fired guns. It has the split trigger, which is part of the drop safety mechanism. It does have the grip safety, which you're kind of used to if you're used to 1911s. Most polymer guns don't have that. This is kind of a polarizing feature. Some people really like it, some people really hate it. One thing I found on the XDM is being high up like this, if you get a proper shooting grip on it, it disengages properly every time. I've never had a problem with an XDM failing to fire because I hadn't disengaged the grip safety. It does have interchangeable back straps. The one that's currently on it is the large. It comes with a small and a medium. And it does have a very well textured front strap and sides. The texturing is aggressive enough that when you get a hold of it, you definitely have a good grip on it. It's not going anywhere, but it doesn't bite into your skin, it doesn't pinch you, it's a very nice texture, very easy and comfortable to hold on to, and it does have cutout for your thumb. It comes with the factory 13-round magazine, and the threaded barrel variant comes with 3 13-round magazines. They are steel with a polymer base plate, and they do fit flush up into the gun. So you got 13 rounds of 45 ACP. The sights on this gun are suppressor height sights, and they're 3-dot. Now these are just white dots. They're not night sights or fiber optic, but they're very bright and very clear and easy to see. One of the other things you'll find on the XDMs is it has this little striker cocked indicator. If this is protruding, then the striker is in a cocked position. When you discharge it, have your hand on the grip safety, the little thing goes away, and then when you cycle it, which I'll pop the magazine out to do that, when you cycle it, it'll be back there, and you can feel it with your thumb. It's a tactile feeling. It does have a Picatinny rail with 3 slots, and let me give you some of the dimensional information on it. It's 8.4 inches front to back, it's 6 inches high, and it's 1.26 inches thick. So it's not the thinnest one out there, but it's also not any thicker than a 45 Glock or any of the others that it's comparable to. It weighs 31 ounces, so it's a little bit on the heavier side than some of those, but not excessively so. With the 13-round capacity, you've got a very competent full-size service style weapon. The barrel length is 5.28 inches, or it's 5.34 if you have the thread protector installed, which it's a really good idea to keep the thread protector installed at all times when you don't have a suppressor on it. Ding up those threads and you'll find that the barrel then would need to be replaced. They're very difficult to fix, the threads, if you actually do damage them. It uses the 578 by 28 right hand thread that's very common for 45 ACP. So most likely you will have a your suppressor, if it's capable of 45 ACP, will have a piston for it, or it may even come with that piston. Being based on the 4.5 inch chassis, the barrel is of course a little bit longer because it has to protrude for the threads. So let me go ahead and take it apart and show you the internals. On an XDM, you lock it back, flip this lever up, and then release it. It'll be under spring tension. Slide the slide off. So we'll start with the frame. The frame is quite robust. It has very large, solid front rails. They're thick, and they're actually quite long. So it's a very robust front rails and locking block mechanism. The rear rails are a little thinner. They're made of polymer, but the majority of the heavy lifting is done by the front rails. We've got some XDMs we've had around for a while, and we've even got one that's got quite a few miles on it, and there's almost no discernible wear on the rear rails. So don't let the fact that they're polymer be a deterrent. With this robust, heavy-duty front rail system, it will actually hold up quite well. So let's move on and look at the slide. Now, before we can remove the barrel, we have to take the thread protector off. So I'll thread that off. And it is a metal thread protector. It's actually quite solid. Some of the thread protectors you get with the factory barrels can be a little bit on the thin and flimsy side. This is a pretty solid little one. Of course, when you put it on and off, you don't want to use tools. You just want to use the strength of your hand. Now, one thing I'll note on this, the 4.5 and the 5.25 don't have captive springs. So it's under spring tension, and you need to make sure you have a hold of it, because when you take it apart, it will want to fly apart. And then you slide the barrel out. Other than the fact that it's longer and threaded, it looks pretty much identical to any of the XDM barrels. It basically is. It does have a very polished feed ramp. All of the XDMs have a highly polished feed ramp, and these are considered match grade barrels. They're quite solid barrels, they're really durable, and I've never, with all the different XDMs we've had any trouble with any part of the barrel assembly, any durability issues. The slide itself is fairly simple. You've got the striker at the back. There's your striker block piston, part of the drop safety mechanism. And then at the front, it's well machined, it's clean. Everything is nice and smooth. It's overall a well done gun. And even the loading ramp is polished, so that you're going to have reduced chance of having drag on the rounds as it cycles. So overall, it's just a well-constructed gun with front and rear serrations, which makes it really easy to grab a hold of it either from the front for a press check or the back to cycle it. So I'm going to go ahead and reassemble it, which is relatively easy, and just the reverse of the disassembly. Drop the barrel in. Spring and guide rod, that can be a little tricky because the spring does want to wiggle a little bit. And then thread the thread protector back on. And reassemble it. To reassemble it, you just put the assembly back together, slide it back, lock it up, take the takedown lever back to forward position, release, and you are operational again. Now the other thing you'll notice that it does have a loaded chamber indicator on the top. This will protrude a little bit if there is a round in the chamber. It'll kind of, see if I can get it to do it with my finger, it'll stick up like that a little bit. And you can either look at it looking down the top of the gun, or you can feel it with your fingers. Now one thing we found, even with the suppressor height sights, we found that this is very easy to shoot well. It's easy to pull good groups with this gun, and it's a pleasure to shoot at the range. It's easy to control the recoil. Overall, there's really it's a well-balanced gun, easy to use. So if you're looking for a suppressor host, or you're just looking for a fun gun, or you're even looking for a defensive weapon, it might be a bit on the big side for a concealed carry gun, but it would definitely make a good bedside gun. Look no further than the XDM. You'll find them generally in the $550 to $600 range, and they're definitely worth the money. If you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and have a great day. Thank you.